All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Pitch Battle local edition with Startup Grind Beijing. We have a WeChat group that you can scan, and if you have any problems scanning the QR code, you can always reach out to us. And on the next slide, here are some prizes that pitchers can expect. And I'd like to invite Jaagii from Startup Grind Beijing to do a short introduction of Startup Grind. Welcome, Jaagii.
Hello, I am happy to be here. And Startup Grind, we are founded in 2010 in Silicon Valley. And we have now 600 chapters in more than 125 countries. And the cornerstone of our global community is the monthly events featuring successful local founders, innovators, educators, and then the investors who share their journey with the local people. And we share our values that give first, don't take, make friends, not contacts, help others before yourself. And the next one. So these are you can see the speakers that attended our events globally. And the next slide would be the companies that attended our events. Yeah. And big thanks to our sponsors and partners, Pitch Club, CirQ, and then Mountains of Imagination, and Yodo1. Startup China, we have 24 active chapters in China and 8 university chapters. And so far we have 12,000 attendees and then more than 200 events we have held. Here you can find our WeChat official account. Please scan the QR code to follow us. And there we go, Startup Grind Pitch Battle Local Edition. So let me invite Jonas, our moderator for today's event.
Hello everybody, Nimenang Ting Tianma. Can you guys hear and see me? If somebody can confirm, please. Yay, awesome. All right, guys, it is our big pleasure to be partnering with Startup Grind today to be bringing you the Startup Grind Beijing local edition pitch battle. For those of you who don't know Pitch Club, I will give you a brief introduction. Pitch Club is our training institute where we practice pitching and public speaking every week. So it is all about learning about training, and we do so while embracing fear. What we do in a usual pitch club is everybody has their cameras on and we embrace the fear of standing in front of each other of public speaking. At the same time, we foster a beautiful community and we learn and improve together by giving each other great feedback. And so tonight, we also have a feedback survey and we give all these startup pitchers feedback. So as I mentioned, usually we have our cameras on. However, due to tonight's format, this rule is not being enforced today. However, I encourage and invite many of you that don't know about Pitch Club, reach out later on to Maurice or myself and ask us how to join Pitch Club. We love to add you to our group and community. Why do we run Pitch Club and why do we give feedback? And what is this whole thing about? Well, we all have goals and we all know how important public speaking is and to convince others. And to become better at anything, it got to start with ourselves from the inside out. So it starts with our identity. From there on, it's a process, like pretty much all else in life. It's practice, and there are many ways to practice your pitches. Record yourself, speak in front of the mirror, pitch to friends, come to Pitch Club. And the result, as the outcome, well, you will improve. And the more often you practice, the better you will become. Just very briefly about our feedback loops. So at Pitch Club, all pitches are recorded, which is one way of evidence. Plus, we encourage you all to take notes during the pitches to later give feedback to the pitchers, which we communicate to them. And from there on, the pitchers, today it's the startup founders, can take action and improve their pitches over time. And as a consequence, people and their pitches will become better and better. For tonight's pitch format, it's only 3-minute pitches. So I kindly ask all the pitchers, have your fancy phones ready next to you or any kind of stopwatch. Take your own time. I will, as the moderator, be interrupting you guys, shutting you down after 3 minutes. As today is a competitive pitch, I'll be very strict about the timing and give maximum 3 seconds extension. Some housekeeping rules here. Well, again, the camera rule is not being enforced today. This is being scrapped. After every pitch, we give a round of applause, which you can do via the Zoom reaction function to show your support, which is pretty cool. It's a modern way to clap. And when giving feedback later, kindly ask you to use the chat function in Zoom, write your name in there, and I'll be calling your name to give the pitchers and startup founders feedback. And as mentioned, after every pitch, you have roughly 1.5 minutes to give feedback. So without further ado, guys, I introduce our judges, and then we are ready to jump into the first pitch. First of all, I have a good friend here, Biman, who is the founder and partner at CirQ Technologies, among many other friends, many other ventures. And Biman is, as I mentioned, a good friend. And we also together actively involved in the Global Shapers community that Biman is actually leading this year. And I'm really excited about these social impact projects we're going to work on together during the next 10 months. Our next judge is somebody I talk to nearly daily, which is a person, an entrepreneur I look up to. And James is actually my boss at Yodo1. He's the co-founder, investor, and board member at Yodo1, also serial entrepreneur, started several super interesting startups over the last couple of years, and is very actively involved as a mentor in the startup scene as well. And last but certainly not least, we have Martin Barnes, who is the founder of Mountains of Imagination. Martin is a true pitch club hero and a pitch superstar. His company, among other things, is actually teaching individuals and corporations how to pitch better, more effectively. And I can say for myself, I learned a great deal from Martin about pitching, and many people I know have learned a lot from him. So guys, give a round of applause, even you're muted, to our awesome pitchers coming up, and this legendary judge squad here in front of us. I want to make sure from the Orga team, can we confirm that all our pitchers are online?
Yes, they're all online.
Perfect, wonderful. Just to make sure. All right, Chubing Lee from Golden Feather New Technology. We are ready for you. As I mentioned, please have your countdown timer ready. I've stopped sharing my slides and kindly ask you to put on your slides. And yeah, ready for you anytime.
Yeah, since the slides are not recommended for technical convenience, I'm not showing the slides. I'm basically just gonna speak. So I'm ready when you are, and it's very nice to see everybody.
Wonderful. Well, slides are allowed because we're Zoom masters, but we also love pitches without slides. So ready for you. Time is on when you start speaking.
Yes. So hello, everybody. I'm Chubing Lee from Beijing Golden Feather New Energy Technology. And our company is founded in 2017 by a group of PhD students from Peking University, Stanford, and Columbia. And we focus on the R&D, production, and the sales of next generation batteries that are safer, greener, and more powerful. So about us, we are committed to bringing hard technology to life. Well, it is one thing to achieve scientific breakthroughs in the lab and quite another to apply them in real life. So there's a long way to go to translate innovative ideas into enabling factors in industrialization. And also the upgrade of battery industry is extremely urgent, yet incredibly arduous. First, the arrival of 5G era has greatly increased the demand for power supply that is reliable, that is safe and long lasting. Second, despite a shared belief in sustainable development, the traditional highly pollutant batteries like lead acid are still taking a major market share for its cheap price, verified production process, and a relatively high safety. Therefore, to address these challenges, our team is dedicated to exploring viable models to validate and commercialize hard technology, to synergize the research, market, and industry. We are already taking the lead, and we will continue to create a more sustainable life for each and every one of us. And currently, we have two major products. The first one is our innovatively designed aqueous zinc-ion battery. With a water-based electrolyte, this battery is completely green from production to application. Moreover, it is extremely safe with no danger of explosion and combustion. I mean, it's water-based. And it is designed to replace and upgrade the highly pollutant lead acid battery for municipal solar devices, micro energy storage stations, and one of the most popular examples is, for example, the 5G power station. And our second product is lithium metal battery facing 3C products. Compared with current existing products in the market, our first generation battery is able to improve the volume energy density by as large as 40% with only 0.05% cost increase. In the long run, we aim to improve comprehensive battery capacity and energy density by 100%. But what does 40% mean? So if your digital device currently can use for 10 hours, it can now last for more than 14 hours. The major application is on TWS earphones, like AirPods, smart wearable devices, smartphones. For 3C devices, sales of TWS earphones in 2019 alone has reached 1.3 billion RMB and is still growing. So about technology readiness, we have independent patent and we have established a pilot production line and accumulated massive data through 660 long-term testing channels. We are sparing no effort to bring about the change we want to see in this new era, and we want to do it together with you. Thank you.
Time! Perfect, that was just on time. And our back-end organizers already shared the feedback link. Thank you, Maurice and team. The feedback link can also be found in the WeChat channels. And just a reminder for our dear judges, you guys have the separate judging link that has been provided to you. If there's any questions from our judges, please utilize the judge WeChat group to ask for any assistance. And for our community, especially those of you guys new to the Pitch Club and overall pitch competitions, kind reminder, click on the QQ survey. In China, it opens best if you have your VPNs off, and give the various pitchers feedback. And so the current pitcher was Chubing Li. Just select the name and the company and give feedback. Feedback is greatly appreciated. We added an additional field there where you can give even feedback about what do you think about the idea, how can the startup idea become even better, or maybe you even have resources that you can recommend to the pitchers or even connect them with. So add all that good information in there. I'll be giving you a little bit more time to complete the feedback and writing it myself as well. And for visuals, just select not applicable for those pitchers who didn't use their slides. And if you don't have any resources to connect or to help out, just write NA, not applicable or something in there, as it's also a mandatory field here in this survey. And when you're done giving feedback, feel free, no thumbs up here. Feel free to write in the chat when you're done. Thank you, Wayne. Perfect. Done myself as well. Every Zoom looks a little bit different. Our awesome virtual thumb buttons have been disabled here. Wow, Gabi is a pro and sending the thumb here. Love it. Awesome. Cool. Then we have Loren getting ready. Loren, are you going to use the slides tonight?
I am not.
All right. Loren, let me just be fancy and put up your photo and intro here. Good to see you. It has been some time.
Yes, my friend.
All right. I stopped the screen share so everybody sees you in full view. Awesome. Loren, well, if you're ready, 3 minutes is yours. I take the time.
Okay, well, nice to connect with everyone virtually tonight. My name is Loren. I'm co-founder of Baozza Food and Beverage Concepts. I'm a former investment banker turned serial entrepreneur who found out that I have a lot more fun making people happy by serving them delicious food than buying and selling companies. As someone who has prepared and delivered hundreds of pitches, I would usually tell someone that the most effective pitch is a product demo, followed by telling everyone that the round is oversubscribed. I can tell you that the round is, we've subscribed $700,000, and I can't do a virtual product demo, but you'll have to take my word for it. Our Baozzas are delicious. So our core product is the company name, the Baozza. It is an Asian steamed bao bun stuffed with pizza fillings. We are a global brand based in China. We have operations in Shanghai, Beijing, Hong Kong, and the US. Baozza is backed by Mark Cuban's VC arm and angel investors from Silicon Valley to Singapore. We've sold close to 500,000 Baozzas to date in China, and we've done extensive R&D over the last 3 years, involving Chinese dough experts, German food scientists, Italian chefs, and American certified nutritionists. We focus on 2 highly scalable channels: frozen consumer packaged goods and food service. In CPG, we sell nationwide throughout China in both online and offline groceries like Hema, as well as e-commerce platforms. In food service, we also distribute nationally to restaurants, hotels, cafes, and schools in more than 10 provinces. We export to Hong Kong and are getting ready to launch Baozza USA later this year. So why should you care, and why do our customers like us? If you ask the elementary school kids, it's because Baozza is delicious. It's that simple. For parents, it's because Baozza is easy, only 90 seconds to microwave. For office workers, it's a convenience. Grab and go single serve pizza with no waiting on a delivery guy. For food service customers, from hipster cafes to Shanghai Disneyland, they chose Baozza because it's super easy to prepare and there's no wastage. Our target addressable market is pretty huge. We took 2 of the world's most common beloved foods, Baozza, which sells more than 60 billion buns in Asia, and pizza, which sells roughly 10 billion pizzas worldwide every year. We've matched those 2 foods up. So we're focused on the two largest economies in the world, China, which has a $5 billion a year pizza market, and the US, which has a $50 billion a year pizza market, 5 billion of which is frozen. We believe in disrupting pizza, in particular frozen pizza, with a product that's made for today's generation. So Baozza is delicious, scalable, and fast on its way to going global. We're about halfway through this current round, and we're always open to talks with investors, partners, or just foodies who are curious about Baozza. So thanks for your time, everyone.
Thank you, Loren. Also here, our virtual round of applause. Awesome. And that was actually 2 minutes and 45 seconds here, according to my timer. So I had a little bit time left. Let's go to the same feedback survey link that is being posted again here. Yasemin just posted it. Thank you very much. And same deal, select Loren and his company Baozza, and from there on give feedback. Again, all feedback will be sent to the pitchers, and they always greatly appreciate that. You're being asked if you deliver to Holland. You can answer that in the chat, Loren. All right, maybe 30 more seconds, and if our next pitcher, Wahed from YOOFU, can get ready, please.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
All right, that's good.
Perfect. Then let's get started. 3 minutes, Wahid.
All right. Hey, everyone. I'm Wahid, co-founder of YOOFU International Incubator for Kids. We are currently based in China, a country with huge demands for international talents, but very limited access to quality education to train them. And also there's a big shift happening in the education sphere of China. They're moving from a knowledge-based education system, or they call it in Chinese, 知识教育, to a much more personalized student-based education system, or 以人为本教育体系. And that's how they focus on students' overall ability rather than just preparing them for university exams or Gaokao. Now, despite this shift, there aren't many institutions that can actually pull this off. The biggest one being international schools, but a normal international school in Beijing will cost something from 100K to 500,000 RMB per year. And now the next one being education centers, but education centers only focus on certain subjects or only on language skills. And that also leaves a big gap. And the local schools doesn't have the infrastructure to actually provide these kind of education or these kind of services. And this leaves a big gap for us. And that's why YOOFU exists. We're basically an incubator. We serve as a one-stop education service platform for students to gain access to quality education for a very cheap price. We develop our own project-based curriculum and little entrepreneurs, future leaders, future diplomats, to develop the students like cognitive abilities. And also we organize different cultural events. We organize visits to embassies to promote culture, to promote diversity, and improve students' international understanding. We also have an international community for students to put their skills to use and also to create. Our business model is very simple. We provide classes to students. We collaborate with education giants for events, and also we make small incubators inside local schools. We have already secured first round funding, and we're also looking for another round of investment very soon. And just in the last second half of last year, we made 1 million RMB in sales. That's it. If you have any questions, contact me in WeChat. Thank you.
Thank you, Wahid. Much appreciated pitch. Also, still a little bit time left. Guys, please go to our feedback survey and rate the latest startup pitch here. And Ilya coming up with Culture Yard.
Hi there.
So many friends here online tonight. Look at that.
How are you, Jonas? Can you hear me well?
I can hear you well, yes. Zoom says your connection is not perfect, but I can hear you well, I can see you, so it should be good. If there are any issues, I'll let you know.
Okay.
All right, guys, are we done with feedback? Guys, yeah, I see a couple dones. Should be good. So Ilya, when you're ready, let's get you started. Thank you, Biman, for the note. All right, when you are ready, get started and I count the time.
Perfect. Okay, let's begin. So every year, more than 6 million people take the HSK exam, and that number is growing every year. The HSK is the most commonly used worldwide Chinese proficiency test, and people use it to apply to Chinese universities, to find jobs where Chinese language is required, and to get extra points for their Chinese working visa. Now, as opposed to other proficiency tests like IELTS or TOEFL, there is currently not one institution, whether it is online or offline, that specifically prepares people for this exam, that specifically specializes in preparing people for this exam. So at Culture Yard, we're currently working on an online platform that will allow people from all over the world to prepare for the HSK exam. Our programs are faster and cheaper than what is available at the moment. And they, as opposed to the regular programs, they're much more focused on the specific exam skills as opposed to just learning the vocabulary that you need. Since we have started this program this year in March, we had more than 100 paying customers, and we have been getting amazing reviews. We are expecting that when this whole crisis is over, people will still be learning online, but China will come out economically much stronger. And there will be more and more people coming to China, wanting to study in university, applying for jobs. So my name is Ilya. I'm the founder of Culture Yard, and we're aiming to be the next Kaplan of HSK Prep worldwide. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ilya. Round of applause here as well. Awesome. Guys, same thing. Please go to the feedback survey, rate Ilya and Culture Yard. And then we have remote video pitch coming up at the very end. And after that, we move on to our feedback session where we dive into each of the pitchers' pitches and give them a self-evaluation. And also we as a community and as audience have the chance to give live feedback to the various pitchers. And then last but not least, we are announcing the winner of this startup competition. I'm sharing my screen here shortly for the final pitch. I do a quick test, make sure you guys can see and hear the video. If somebody can confirm the sound, thank you.
QR codes.
Are we all good with the sound?
Yes, all good. Thank you, Jonas.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Arkadii, Sheila, everybody commenting here. You guys are amazing. Love it. All right, then let's get started. Benjamin, are you ready? Yes. All right.
QR codes are essential for your brand as they give a digital dimension to your products and services. QR codes have become mainstream. But the problem with QR codes is that they are even more ugly than a barcode. We have built a platform that allows you to easily customize your QR codes following your brand identity. But that's not all. With our QR codes, you can actually track valuable customer data, things that brands need to understand where do people come from in their offline to online experiences. Brands come to us for a whole range of different needs. We made QR codes where you can just put a URL and it will redirect to their website. You can upload a PDF or a file. You can upload an MP3. We've built even what we call a multi-URL QR code. A multi-URL QR code is a QR code based on different parameters that it will redirect to something different. For example, location. If you're in China, you will be redirected to a Chinese website. If you're in America, you will be redirected to an English website. If you're in France, you will be redirected to a French website. Brands come to us out of different kind of groups. We have educational brands. We have brands that are actually looking for more marketing users. We have brands that are actually using for more retail. So brands come from very different fields to us for actually a similar solution that we offer. Most of our customers are small, medium enterprises, but we also work for a few bigger brands like Universal, Sephora, Atlas Copco. I'm very proud to say that we are a totally revenue-funded company. This means we have 12 people, we have an office in Beijing, and we have an office in the Philippines that is totally funded by our revenue. We make more than $150,000 by today, and we keep growing month on month. And what made QR codes even break through even more is, of course, the coronavirus pandemic. Because now people are using QR codes on tables to scan contactless menus in the form of a PDF. So even groups like Hilton, Shangri-La all came to us to digitalize their menus in their restaurants through a QR code. Thank you so much. My name is Benjamin from QR Tiger. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Benjamin. Benjamin had a last minute thing coming up for his visa to come back to China. So I think that is really important and a reason to be excused here, to not pitch live tonight. But same thing, we don't mind that. We are entrepreneurs, we are innovators. We can still give him feedback remotely. And so please select The last pitcher, Benjamin with QR Tiger, formerly known as QR Zebra. I gotta ask him what caused that name change. All right, I do not see Chubing here. So if Chubing is back, let's move to you. Loren, let's start with you then as second pitcher. What could you have done better? What did you do well during your pitch?
Zoom pitches are always tough. I think, it gave an okay intro to the channels that we're in. Some of the things that we're doing had to, by necessity, leave out a lot of the cool things we're doing. And from vending machines to algae-based steamer bags. So didn't give some of the color that I would like to give in a normal pitch.
Got it. All right. Thank you, Loren, for the self-feedback. Guys, don't be shy. Drop your name here in the chat. And when I call your name, unmute yourself and give feedback. Loren, while we are waiting for people to drop their names, again, guys, don't be shy. We have some Pitch Club heroes here who are used to giving feedback. Show everybody how we do it. I will just start out. Loren, I think you are, of course, an experienced pitcher. Overall, good job. What I think you could have done better and gain back some time is, in the beginning, you talked about, hey, if somebody asks me how to pitch, this is what I will tell them, right? So, you kind of went off topic for like 15, 20 seconds. And I think that actually distracted and took away some of the energy you could generate by just diving right into it, right? Like, hey, 7 o'clock, are you guys hungry? Or, whatever powerful opening line. Cool. There are people who want to give feedback. Awesome. Filippo, please.
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Hi, Loren. Nice to meet you. So first of all, I'm from Italy, so I really appreciate your topic. I just hope you're not gonna, disrupt pizza too much. I think, so you're clearly like an experienced pitcher, and that's great. So the structure is very clear. You provide all the information you mentioned are like there for a specific reason. So it's very, very nice. I just feel like you could have tried to speak a little bit slower, because you try to pack a lot of information in these 3 minutes. And for me, it was a little bit overwhelming. And also I felt you were not very excited, even though your product is such an amazing product and it's very delicious, very, appeal the senses of people. So perhaps if you could have tried to smile a little bit more or try to sound more excited about this product would have been great. Yeah, that's my feedback. Thank you very much.
We need the Italian passion here, right? And that excitement. Martin, please. Martin,
Hey,
next
Loren.
feedback. Yeah.
Hey, Loren, great pitch. I thought it was really informative. I've seen you present before, so, I think it was really interesting to get the updates on your story. What I would suggest for Zoom meetings or Zoom pitches is if you stand up, because then you're a lot more on your feet, you can use your hands more, and you can sort of project a little bit more excitement and enthusiasm that Filippo just mentioned. So, I mean, I've just gone from sitting down to standing up now. And I really recommend everybody should stand when they pitch online. So apart from that, really great, really informative. So well done.
That's right. Thank you, Martin and James.
All right. Hey, Loren. Yeah, you're obviously got this pitch down, and I think there's a famous question that Sequoia Capital says they always ask, and it's why now? And I thought I was missing kind of a story to remember you by. I think a story makes all these pitches memorable, because when you see 5 in a row, 6 in a row, 10 in a row, you forget them, but there's a story, it kind of stays with you. And Baozza has been around as long as China, and I'm sure lots of people tried to take them to the world and do them differently. And I really thought, wow, there's got to be some sort of origin story or some sort of why now, why us now, So I hungered a bit for that.
Thank you, James. Story elements, being memorable. And next we have Terrence, who raised his hand to give feedback. Please unmute yourself.
Okay. Thank you, Jonas, and Startup Grind again. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I think for these Zoom pitches, I mean, although we cannot use the, I think like for Loren, I think for this pitch for Baozza, I think a good element besides standing up would be like having storyboards and stuff so that you can actually communicate what you want even more clearly. I mean, it's something like a page taken out of the advertising industry where you can just have storyboards, you know, and like and that will just bring out your enthusiasm, because it is difficult to just speak to a virtual audience and to project that enthusiasm, but if you have some kind of animation or standing up or whatever Filippo and the previous guy suggested, it'll be excellent.
Thank you. All right. Henry, want to give feedback as well. Henry, please.
Hey, Loren, great pitch. I actually want to know what a Baozza tastes like. So 2 points of feedback. First point is, without visuals and in a 3-minute Zoom pitch, find a way to help your audience imagine what your product tastes like, because taste is what you're selling, right? You're selling food. Second point is about the audience. You use some examples. One is kids like it because it tastes great. Parents like it because it's convenient. As a parent of a 4-year-old, convenience is very low on my priorities when choosing food for my kid. It might be about nutrition, it might be about balance, but convenience from the parent audience perspective might not be the right sell if you're trying to sell a parent who's making a kid's food decision. Great pitch. You're a great verbal presenter.
Yeah, thank you, Henry. Henry is also working with us, fellow co-founder here at Yodo1, by the way. Thanks for the feedback. A quick note to the audience. Somehow Startup Grind headquarter is worried that people cannot use Zoom, so they actually advise the pitchers not to use slides. Per my understanding, we informed the pitchers they can use slides if they want to. However, something might have gotten lost in translation. That instruction came by the Startup Grind headquarters, so got to give that credit to the pitchers for a potential loss of efficiency. All right, Arkadii, a brief feedback, and then we move on to the next person, please. Arkadii.
Thank you, Jonas. Thank you, Loren. I really liked your pitch and really wanted to try Baozza. I like this little bit of interaction you had when you kind of gave a bite to Baozza, but I could see how uncomfortable it was for you to speak afterwards. So maybe instead of biting it, you could just smell it and say like, oh, it smells great, and something like this. But instead of it, I really like the pitch. Thank you.
Thank you, Arkadii. Also good feedback. Nice. All right, guys, we are moving on. If our fellow organizers can let me know when and if Chubing is back. For the time being, we move on to Wahed. Wahed, what did you do well, and what could you have done better during your pitch?
Hey, so I think it was quite nice experience. I think the good part is I was able to explain it very simple. I didn't use a lot of technical or words. But the things I could have done better were much more. First one, I could have been better with the time, because you told me I have a few seconds left, and I could have spoken more about the market opportunity and the scale of this market, and also more about our products. So what makes us different, and what are our advantages are compared to other companies. So that's what I could have focused on. And I think because I don't know, I have some technical issues with my laptop, so I'm using my phone to speak. So there's not a lot of hand gestures or interactions happening. You cannot see me actually trying to be more engaging with the audience. So I think these are the couple of things I would I would have done better. And I also saw people giving amazing feedbacks to Loren, and Loren had a wonderful speech. So I think that's I learned from him.
All right, we stay concise. Thank you very much, guys. Again, write your name in the chat. You guys hear. The pitchers are appreciating your feedback very much. So please just write your name here. We have so many experienced pitchers here, and people who came to Pitch Club before. probably a couple other startup founders as well. Write your name, please. Biman, thank you.
I think the pitch was really amazing. So one thing I would like to add is when you are telling the connection for you to the problem, so that when you're just explaining why this problem excites you and why you decide to just do it for the rest of the time, that part is highlighted also. It's actually going to add the background story for the pitch, just like a small feedback.
Thank you, Biman. You dropped out a little bit for me in the middle part. I hope everybody else could hear you all right. All right, people heard you. Martin next, and then guys, don't be shy, I see Eve, I see Flo, I see, all these, Christine, Alex, Amy, all these experienced Pitch Club people. Write your name, give feedback. Same for Maurice, everybody else. Thanks, Biman again, and Martin next for feedback.
Hey, Wahid. Great pitch, very interesting. To be honest, I got a little bit lost because, as I think James mentioned, there wasn't really a narrative hook. There was lots of descriptions of industry and need and want, but if you'd maybe talked about a student's journey, and you could maybe choose a young student who's really gone through your program, has shown real transformation and has had real opportunities, and if it was all from her perspective, then it would be a lot easier for someone who's not necessarily in the industry or an expert to sort of follow along with all the great things you're doing. So I think James mentioned it already. It's like, have a narrative, have a story, because that's the real way that we can follow. And again, we had 5 pitches in a row and there was a lot of information, and it kind of becomes hard to remember who is who. So, you have such great potential for stories because it's about children and education. So look for that story is my feedback. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Martin. And next, Yolanda.
Hello, Wahed. Because I was doing finance, so I'm more concerned about for the finance aspect. And from what you have pitched, I heard that one of the highlights that your enterprise is that you can create some cheaper form of education while providing still better or different content to the kids. But maybe somehow you have to explain in this process how can you afford that in your business model, because actually to provide a quality education needs some real investment, whether it's in teacher or it's in content. But you say that the price of your offering is quite low, so maybe it would be confused to the investors. How's your profit model? That's my feedback. Thank you.
Thank you, Yolanda. Never forget the financial aspect in startup pitches. And James, please, feedback.
Yolanda hit it there. I mean, this is China, biggest English education market in the world, and it's really crowded. And so you really have to, you can't show up at a pitch anywhere in that market with that product without talking about your special sauce and your business model. I just don't think, and without coming off as a little bit unprepared. That's my feedback.
Fair enough. Thank you, James. And again, guys, feedback is wonderful because we don't take it personal. We take it to learn and build upon. Any other feedback for Wahid, please? If not, we're moving on to Ilya. Ilya, if you can unmute yourself, what did you do well and what could you have done better in tonight's pitch?
So in terms of doing well, I guess I'm happy that I showed up. That's the biggest thing for me. Because I'm not a very experienced public speaker, and for me, part of coming today was to kind of, just put myself out there. And I guess that also connects to what the things I didn't do as well, which is because of being a bit nervous, one, I got a little bit stuck, and two, I missed a few important things that I wanted to say. in particular is I didn't really talk about our team, and we have a great team. Like we've been working together for many years and it's very experienced in all different kind of ways. And two, I didn't really talk about the product itself, kind of the online platform that we're building. I could have given more details about that. So that's the main stuff.
All right, and the people are already writing their names to give feedback. Everybody else can still add. So we're starting with James. James, please.
So Ilya, we shared the stage, I believe, at an 8x8, and besides my own pitch, which I liked because I wrote a book about it, but your pitch really hit me. I mean, because you told your personal story, and it left an impression on me that I still think about it every now and then. And I watched you on social media, and I've watched you reinvent your company during this crisis, and it's been amazing and compelling just to watch. And you didn't give us any of that, man. And I wanted lots of that. I would have had to take a second helping. So yeah, I wish you could just do it again, because you're doing some great stuff. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thanks, James. And Filippo.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Hi, Ilya. So I'm studying HSK myself, and I'm using a lot of applications and website and different resources. So what I missed from your pitch is how you are going to be different from these platforms. I didn't really get that. So you mentioned that you're going to be different and you're going to be better in terms of content and, the mode where students can use to learn, but then I didn't really understand how, because there are so many apps out there and I feel there is already a lot of good offer. So I'm really curious to know how you are going to be better than these apps. Thank you.
Thank you. And you guys can discuss that later offline. Ilya, happy to add you to our group as well. By the way, Ilya, love for you to show up in Pitch Club again, and feel free next week in 2 weeks, practice your pitch and get even more feedback. Next feedback coming in from Martin. Martin, please.
Hey, Ilya, how you doing? You could see when you got nervous in the pitch, you started off quite well, you hit your sort of points, and then you sort of wobbled a little bit, and we could hear that in your voice. And I think one thing that really helps, I said it already, but if you stand up when you present, we spend all day sitting in front of a computer and we get quite nervous. We can't really move our bodies. And when you can stand up, and if you do some breathing exercises beforehand, get some deep breathing, fill your lungs, fill your brain with fresh oxygen. It just helps you think a lot faster. It calms you down. And it really just improves your presentation skills if you're standing and you're sort of physically preparing your body, because it mentally calms you down, and then you can get through your pitch a lot smoother and a lot more confident. So for your next online pitch and any pitching opportunities, really try and make sure you're standing. All right.
Thank you very much, Martin. And I need to ask Maddie to send the results as a photo in our organizer chat, as my VP dude doesn't want to load right now.
Got you. I'm sending it right now, and please give me a couple more seconds and it will be there at your computer.
No problem. I just noticed that my Google machine doesn't want to work properly. All right. So guys, stay tuned here. I'm putting on our slides again. Everybody should be able to see it. This pitch battle is the first session, our local edition of the Global Startup Grind Pitch Battle, and the winner will be advanced to the next rounds and getting closer to the global finals. And of course, we love to see a great startup from Beijing being represented there. And also the first place will receive 12 months of free Startup Grind membership, which is a premier mentorship program, and not only membership, but also mentorship program by Startup Grind. Second place will receive 6 months, third place 3 months. And then we have our special Pitch Club People's Choice Award of the night. And I'll be announcing all here. So when you guys are ready, I'm ready. So first of all, I like to announce the results by the People Choice, which is you guys, our awesome community. I do not announce the last scores. I announce the third spot based on the People's Choice. This is not the judge decision. By People Choice, Culture Yard and Ilya came in third. Thank you, Ilya, very much, and congratulations. Benjamin, QR Tiger, number 2. And Loren with Baozza Food and Beverage receives the People Choice Award. Taking a note here. Good job, Loren. And let us dive into the next results of the overall winner. And give me 1 second here. All right, yeah, we are working through Zoom and snail mail and Kwaidi just knocked at my. All right, so I am excited to announce Benjamin with QR Tiger came in number 3, and Ilya number 2. So there's a slight discrepancy between the judge scores and the People Award. But regardless, congrats, Ilya and Benjamin. And let me see, I am ready for you guys. Are you guys ready to hear the winner result? The winner is it a surprise? It is Loren and Baozza. I hope you guys can see my screen. Wow, this team is on fire. Even the certificate is ready already. Thank you guys for everybody in the back end. Thank you for all the participants for voting. And Loren, once again, thank you for winning 2 awards, the People Choice and our Judge Choice. And we are very excited for you to represent Beijing in the global competition. Maddie, do you want to add anything about the competition here as you're the official Startup Grind representative?
Yes, I'll reach out to you on the next steps, but I'd like to take this opportunity to also actually thank Jonas, Maurice, Yasemin, Arkadii, and Jaagii for all their great work. I actually prepare a certificate for all of you as well, and also for the judges, which I'll send to you guys personally after this event. Thank you so much for all your hard work for making this event a success.
Well, Maddie, thank you so much. I think you are working the hardest on this, so thank you for this awesome job putting this together. And again, thanks to all the participants. It is 8:05. We call it a wrap. Usually Pitch Club is running for 1.5 hours. Again, this is happening every Wednesday, and we welcome you guys to join. It's a great opportunity, not only for startup founders, but for everybody to practice their pitches and their public speaking. It's a skill that is more important than ever as companies go remote, as many schools stay remote. No matter you gotten into fancy Harvard, well, you better get used to taking your classes remotely, or at least some of them. So again, thank you guys. Special thanks again to our judges. You all are super busy. You took the time to be here. Biman, Martin, James, thanks a lot. And hope to see many of you guys soon in Beijing or remotely or in the future after COVID elsewhere in the world. See you guys.